Jr. was silenced because he spoke out against the industry. All these scandals he's been accused of are simply false accusations, at least according to his brother Omar Gooding. He believes his brother was targeted by the industry for threatening to expose their sacrifices and rituals.
Before, like, he would never. He did? God damn it. But that being said, again, I'm very long-windedly answering your question. Yes, I believe people get targeted, they make the mistake. It's fucking scary, man, because, it's almost like how much power do you want? How much influence do you want to have? And if it goes to your head, they'll take you out any way they can. Some people get killed.
For years, people have wondered the same thing. How does an Oscar-winning actor go from being one of Hollywood's biggest stars to watching his career unravel almost overnight? Was it simply the result of bad decisions, or was there something happening behind the scenes that the public never got to see? Now, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother, Omar Gooding, is sharing his own perspective, claiming he believes Cuba upset some very powerful people, and that everything changed after that.
So this is, again, when you interview me, what you're getting is my opinion. In my opinion, yes. People say, is there such a thing as puppets? Is there such a thing as sell your soul? Is there such a thing as attack? Yes. We've seen it too many times. Now, in the instance of my brother, I'm gonna speak on it because he did an interview, and when he spoke on it, I was looking at the screen going, because I think it's a little harder to defend yourself when you're just getting attacked from so many angles. And then they did the Me Too thing where people were coming up and saying, yeah, you attacked me too, and and it's crazy because the last public back and forth that I was in, there were people chiming in that I later found out weren't even real people. Robots and bots, and you fake comments and fake accounts and all that type of shit. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. With my brother, what he was accused of blew my mind, because they accused him of inappropriate touching. And I said, what the fuck is inappropriate? Go on. And they had footage. They showed the footage, and it was him and his girlfriend, not his wife, girlfriend sitting next to him. And then some other girl comes over and his hand goes up like this and back down, and then it cut away. And then the news anchors were like, man, shocking, hard to watch. I was like, what was hard? What did we even look at? We got more footage, and he was walking through the club, and the girl that accused him was walking behind him like, hey, let me ask you another question. And it was like, what the This is news? Inappropriate touching? You know how many motherfuckers can be arrested for dancing in the 90s if inappropriate touching is illegal?
At the same time, Omar didn't try to portray his brother as perfect. He openly admitted that Cuba has always had an incredibly energetic personality and loved going out. According to Omar, after winning an Oscar, Cuba reached the highest level of Hollywood success very early in his career. Opportunities poured in, audiences loved him, and he continued delivering memorable performances. But Omar said his brother also enjoyed nightlife and parties. He laughed while recalling how he would walk into clubs only to hear stories about Cuba having been there the night before, causing a scene simply because he was having too much fun. Omar stressed that, in his opinion, none of it involved criminal behavior. He described Cuba as someone with endless energy who naturally attracted attention everywhere he went.
Just so energetic and full of life that if he was to do that, it'd be a fucking problem. But anyway, I do believe he made somebody upset. I will not say my full belief. I can get into details because I knew right while I said, And ever since that, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? And it snowballed. It was terrible. It was bad for him. I don't know how much his business is out there, but financially, everything dried up, boom, 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 houses, just everything was bad. And he had to, crawl out of it. He's still crawling out of it. You know what I mean? And he's got a lot of big stuff going now, which is good for him. Real powerful stuff. Some good connections and alliances that he's making with some people. So I'm real excited and happy for him. But he's having a rebuild, The specific incident too, and I will say a little bit about this because I'll use a little of my platform, your platform, to just give a little touch on it. He was accused of several things. The inappropriate touching thing was weird. That case wound up being dropped. It was just too weird. One person said that they were in a club with him and touched, I think, a lot of weird stuff, right? But he pled guilty to one of the accusations. And I was like, what was it? I can tell you what it was. Real quick, I'll try to be quick. He went out and tipped the waitress. The waitress got so happy with the amount he tipped her, she came back and kissed him on the cheek. And he grabbed her face and said, "You missed," and kissed her on the mouth. She said, "Oh." That was one of the accusations. That's the one that they pulled. Once they said, "Oh, wait a minute, da-da-da." He said, "Yeah, I did that." So, okay, you grabbed her without her will. That's inappropriate. I'm like, come on, yo. But that's what, so when people say, "Oh, well, he was guilty." Yeah, freak him up. Like, he was guilty of what? That, So anyway, but again, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. We just don't. I love him. I'll vouch for his character of what I've seen, but I don't go behind every closed door with him.
He also addressed rumors linking Cuba to Diddy parties, saying he simply doesn't know what happened at events he didn't attend. Omar said he refuses to defend or accuse anyone over situations he has no firsthand knowledge of. Even with those caveats, Omar returned to his central belief. He said he believes powerful people can target celebrities once they become influential enough or make the wrong enemies. He argued that fame comes with enormous risks, and in his opinion, people who gain too much influence sometimes face consequences that go far beyond ordinary public criticism.
But that being said, again, I'm very long-windedly answering your question. Yes, I believe people get targeted, they make their mistake. It's fucking scary, man, because, it's almost like, how much power do you want? How much influence do you want to have? And if it goes to your head, they'll take you out any way they can. Some people get cloned. Some people get in accidents, so you gotta watch what you do, and you gotta fly somewhere in between to make it to 105, or else, the number drops. So I hear that. My shoulder's going again. Knock it off. That's you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't bugging, man, because at one point they was coming at him hard, man. It looked personal.
Yeah. And when you're loved, which is really cool, man, because, people love him. And he's got that celebrity that when he can go anywhere and it's like, oh shit, I loved you in this, I loved you in that. And that's cool. I think initially when the accusations came out, he said, "I'm gonna be quiet and let them judge me, or let the courts handle it." And I'm like, yo, I'm innocent and you accuse me of shit. I'll be on every podcast, every day I'm on my phone. Listen here, this is what happened. But he chose to be quiet, and he kind of just had to ride it out. And it's also messed up when you find out where your friends are. Everybody's like, "Oh, did such and such call? Did move hands?" He's like, "Nope, nobody even check on me." Because people, they're like, they see the attack, bro, and go, "Oh, well, don't attack me too." I can't be like, "Yeah, that's my friend, I vouch for him." "Oh yeah? Well, we found out that you was, oh, never mind. I don't know I don't know him, I don't know." It's hard to have friends.
One bad decision can end a Hollywood career. Two can erase it completely. And that's exactly what many people say happened to Cuba Gooding Jr. He went from being one of the biggest stars in the world to becoming someone many studios no longer wanted to work with. But according to Cuba, his downfall wasn't just his own fault. He believes powerful people in Hollywood played a major role in destroying his career, and his explanation has sparked a lot of debate. Cuba's story is one of the most dramatic rises and falls Hollywood has ever seen. Back in the 1990s, he was one of the hottest actors in the business. Many people believed he was on track to become one of Hollywood's biggest black leading men. Think about how Will Smith dominated the industry for years before his public controversies. That's the level of success many expected Cuba to reach. Although he had already built a solid career in the early 90s, everything changed in 1996 when he starred as Rod Tidwell in Jerry Maguire. The performance became iconic, and the following year he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Winning an Oscar instantly changes an actor's career. It brings prestige, opens doors to bigger projects, and often allows stars to dramatically increase what they earn for each movie. It's one of the highest honors an actor can receive, placing them in an elite group of performers. For Cuba, the achievement was even more significant because relatively few Black actors had won Oscars at that time. Many believed he had officially reached the top and that even bigger opportunities were just around the corner. But instead of launching an even greater career, things slowly began falling apart. After winning the Oscar, directors wanted him for major films. Cuba decided to become much more selective about the roles he accepted. On paper, that isn't unusual. Many successful actors carefully choose their projects. The problem, according to critics, was that he turned down several movies that went on to become major successes while accepting projects that failed to make much impact.